regular session.
I'll make a motion to go back to regular session at 10:47. 10:43. Yeah.
We have a motion to go back into regular session. All at 10:43. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. There is no action on this item B, Sheriff Headley and Cole Crim, but we are putting it on the agenda for our next meeting, and it is for emergency response team proposal. Is that correct? Okay. Okay. Next item on the agenda, Douglas County Public Library Board of Trustees building a new library. This will be tabled, but I would ask that Betsy give us, she's done some research, and I think she's going to give more or do more, but she's got some preliminary information for us.
Thank you, Commissioner. Basically, I've done some research into the statute, and I've also reached out to Marion County, where I was employed before. It's a little bit of a bigger county, and they have a building commission already. And I know you and I had talked about, whether we could accomplish, or whether you could accomplish what you wanted to do with the use of the building commission. There are a couple different options. There are, we can go the building commission route and, set that up, and the building commission would basically lease the building, and then the money would be paid to the building commission, kind of like a sublet. The other option is to construct a lease in such a way that it's not technically a long-term lease that would encumber the commission over a number of years. It would be a year-by-year lease. However, the language in the lease would indicate that it's contemplated as a long-term commitment by the county. So that even though it's a year-to-year lease, it would be understood by the parties that, the landlord, so to speak, wouldn't terminate the lease in the middle of a year. How that would work is the lease would indicate that the money for the lease on the library would be allocated at the beginning of each fiscal year for the whole year. And I have the language that we can use to do that in the lease if you choose to do that. The other option would be to actually let economic development lease the building, and then the county commission would sublease, and that sublease would be a year-to-year lease. So those are the options that I've come up with so far. It's kind of how Marion County leased their prosecutor's office, so that they weren't encumbered for more than 1 year at a time. There are certainly other options that I can look into, and we're going to do that. I know that Herc has started getting the ball rolling as far as getting the ordinance together for the building commission, and we'll continue to work on that. And I think we've got, a good start on these are the options that we have, and this is how you can move forward.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, as I indicated, we will be tabling this particular issue, and I think probably the item K, formation of the Doddridge County Building Commission, we probably will be tabling that also until we know what all our options are. Is that agreeable with the other commissioners?
Yes, agreeable.
Okay. So we will, once we have all the options and know the specifics, we can ask our assistant prosecutor what her recommendation is as far as which is the best route to go for the county. So Those items D and K are tabled at this time. Now, we will, is this for item M, courthouse security, is that?
That's Kim.
Okay. We will go down to item number M, courthouse security, old wiring and sealing of equipment room.
Brian Griffin talked to me a few weeks back. I was supposed to be on the agenda for last time and I got a call and had to leave, but there's some old wiring downstairs in the equipment room that's up in the ceiling. Him and his workers had been up there doing the courthouse security wiring for the cameras and the panic alarm and things like that. He's telling me that that is a fire hazard, that throughout the years with everything that's up in there, there's several wires and cabling that's up in there that needs to be taken out. That it's a fire hazard, that if the fire marshal would come in, that they're going to hammer us on that. And he's telling me that either him or Brad can take that stuff out of there. Of course, they're going to charge us for that. So he asked for me to come and in front of you guys to see if it would be okay for them to go ahead and take that old wiring out, or if you guys want to get estimates from other people to go up in there, with the understanding that if somebody else goes up in there not knowing what all those wires and cabling are going to, if they affect the courthouse security systems in any way, that would be on the other companies, you know, that would have to fix that stuff.
Okay, so this is the company that has been maintaining our security system?
Yes, sir. It's Brian Griffith. He's with State Electric.
Okay.
Tammy, is there an estimate where you said he cost to do it?
He hasn't given us an estimate. He will. If I ask him for an estimate, he will give us an
I
estimate
think we
on
need
it.
an estimate maybe.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to jump in.
I got that.
Okay. I don't understand. The old wiring needs removed, it's a fire hazard. If it's not serving any purpose, I can't see where it's fire hazard. Sorry.
Is it still hooked up, Tammy? I mean, the wiring is still hooked up?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, if it's still hooked up, he's got to replace wiring. If it's not hooked up, I can't see how it's going to catch on fire.
Well, I think what he's saying is that the wiring, the new wiring through all of the computer systems and coming down into our main hub down there, that is hot. That is hooked up. So I don't know that he's saying if that stuff gets hot and would connect to the other wiring, if that would cause an issue. I'm not quite sure what he's saying.
I would like to know, I'd like to see an estimate and like to know what his reasoning is,
Okay. So I asked him for a reasoning behind it and an estimate.
Yeah, I'd feel better if you'd tell me a reason. Like you said, maybe the new wiring is going to affect the old wiring. I don't know.
Okay.
But
So,
if it's not hooked up to anything, I can't see how it's going to catch on fire.
Okay. So I'll have him to email that to you. Okay. Can I get your email address? I'll have him email the estimate and the reason to you, and then you can just give it to them.
Huh?
He's watching your page on records and stuff.
Oh, we got,
Yeah, she brought it in.
okay.
Okay, so I guess that will be tabled too, huh? Okay. All right. Chris Richards here. I guess we'll have to table that, and if she shows up, we'll reconvene. Next item on the agenda, employee review, executive session. Clerk, do you know what this is? Oh.
The employee review, you had me put that on there. What was it about? Executive session concerning employees, but what do we think about it?
Well, we'll hold off on that, and then we'll go on to item G, comprehensive plan, first reading. I think that's you, isn't it, Herc?
Were there public meetings?
Pardon?
Were there public meetings prior, or is this?
Do you wish to take any questions?
I didn't hear the question.
Were there public meetings required?
Not for this ordinance, no.
Okay.
I thought they were required for any ordinance. I could be wrong.
To the best of my knowledge, can you confirm 3 readings are required and an action by the commission?
I'm not sure what the prior history of the ordinance is, so I'm not really prepared to speak to it.
To this point, the county commission has desired a comprehensive plan, sign an agreement with the WVU Land Use and Sustainable Development Law Clinic to develop that plan in cooperation with the town of West Union, who's also signed an agreement with them. It's required by state code to establish an ordinance, to establish a planning commission to move forward.
Well, to respond to that, this is a public meeting, so proceed.
Section 1, purposes and creation of the Planning Commission to promote the orderly development of its governmental units and its environs, to promote the health, safety, convenience, and welfare of the citizens of Doddridge County, and to plan for the future development of the community. A county planning commission is now created and established under the provisions of Chapter 8A of the West Virginia Code. Section 2, powers and duties of the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission has the following powers and duties in accordance with the West Virginia Code. Section 8A-2-11. Number 1, exercise general supervision for the administration of affairs of the Commission. Number 2, prescribe rules and regulations pertaining to administration, investigations, and hearings, provided that the rules and regulations are adopted by the governing body. Number 3, supervise the fiscal affairs and responsibilities of the Commission. Number 4, with consent of the governing body, hire employees necessary to carry out the duties and responsibilities of the Planning Commission, provided that the governing body sets the salaries. Number 5, keep an accurate and complete record of all Planning Commission proceedings. Number 6, record and file all bonds and contracts. Number 7, take responsibility for the custody and preservation of all papers and documents of the Planning Commission. Number 8, make recommendations to the appropriate governing body concerning planning. Number 9, make an annual report to the appropriate governing body concerning the operation of the Planning Commission and the status of planning within its jurisdiction. Number 10, prepare, publish, and distribute reports, ordinances, and other material relating to the activities authorized under this article. Number 11, adopt, seal, and certify all official acts. Number 12, invoke any legal, equitable, or special remedy for the enforcement provisions of this article or any ordinance, rule, and regulation of any action taken thereunder. Number 13, prepare and submit an annual budget to the appropriate governing body. Number 14, if necessary, establish advisory committees. Number 15, delegate limited powers to a committee composed of 1 or more members of the commission. And number 16, contract for special or temporary services and professional counsel with the approval of the governing body. Upon request, a county prosecuting attorney, the county surveyor, the county engineer, or any other county employee may render assistance and service to a planning commission without compensation. Section 3, composition and organization, qualifications, appointment, and terms of members, filling vacancies. 3.1 is composition. The planning commission shall be appointed by the county commission, shall consist of 7 members, one of whom shall be a member of the county commission or a designee serving for a term coextensive with their term on the commission. Of the 6 remaining members of the commission, the positions must be filled to fairly represent different areas of interest, knowledge, and expertise, including but not limited to business, industry, labor, farming, government, and other relevant disciplines, including citizens at large. All appointees to the planning commission shall be residents of the county, and at least 3/5 of those appointed shall have been residents of the county for a period of at least 3 years prior to nomination or appointment. Number 2, terms of service. The remaining members of the county planning commission first selected shall serve respectively for terms of 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years, divided equally or as nearly equally as possible between these terms. Thereafter, members shall serve 3-year terms. Number 3, removal. The county commission may establish procedures for the removal of members of the planning commission for inactivity, neglect of duty, or malfeasance. Procedures must contain provisions requiring that the person to be removed be provided with a written statement of the reasons for removal and an opportunity to be heard on the matter. Number 4, filling vacancies. Should a vacancy arise on the planning commission for any reason during the duration of a term, the vacancy shall be filled for the unexpired term in the same manner as provided in section 3.1. Number 5, officers. At the first meeting each year, the 7 members of the commission shall elect from among themselves a president and vice president. A, the president shall call the meeting to order, moderate discussion, and control the agenda. B, in the president's absence, the vice president shall have the power and authority to act as president of the planning commission. Number 1, in the absence of both the president, vice president, and members present, shall elect a president pro tem, who shall act as president for the duration of that meeting only. And C, the planning commission shall elect a secretary. The secretary will be responsible for taking minutes of meetings and filing approved minutes of the planning commission with the county clerk. Section 4, compensation and expense of members. Members of the planning commission shall serve without compensation, but shall be reimbursed for actual expenses reasonably incurred in performance of their official duties. Section 5, funds. 1, Doddridge County shall authorize expenditures reasonably necessary to acquire A, suitable offices for holding meetings and preservation of plans, maps, documents, and accounts. Excuse me. And B, appropriate money to defray the reasonable expenses of the planning commission. The planning commission. Number 2, the planning commission shall have authority to accept gifts, funds, and donations, which will be deposited with the county commission in a special non-reverting planning commission fund to be available for expenditures by the planning commission for the purpose designated by the donor. Section 6, planning commission meetings, quorum. Number 1, regular meetings. Pursuant to section 8A2-2-7 of the West Virginia Code, the planning commission shall meet at least quarterly and may meet more frequently at the request of the president or by 2 or more members. Number 2, special meetings. Notice for a special meeting must be in writing, include the date, time, and place of the special meeting, and be sent to all members at least 2 days before the special meeting. Written notice of a special meeting is not required if the date, time, and place of the special meeting are set in a regular meeting. Number 3, quorum. Pursuant to section 8A-2-8 of the West Virginia Code, the planning commission must have a quorum to conduct a meeting. A simple majority of planning commission members present, minimum of 4, constitute a quorum. No action of a planning commission is official unless authorized by a majority of the members present at a regular or properly called special meeting.
Okay, thank you, Bert. If anybody wants a copy, we can provide that.
I have a question. Is
Steve?
this, okay,
Do you wish to take questions?
this is for you.
Here to present the governing body.
This is for you guys. Is the planning commission
the same as the building commission? Or are we talking two different commissions?
Two
Two
different.
different.
Is it like a zoning commission?
The planning.
No, it's to get a comprehensive plan.
But the planning commission is allowed to do zoning, right? That's part of their job.
They're allowed to make recommendations.
So,
The intent here is to get a comprehensive plan for the county and city jointly. That's the intent.
something you read stated that money would be funded to have a meeting location or
That's
a
already been
building.
taken care of. The EDA has money allotted a year and a half or 2 years ago for the purposes of planning. So there'd be no further allotments at this point.
Okay. Thank you, Herb. That
So
was
you
the-
do have
That was
copies.
the first reading. Okay, next item on the agenda, number H, is a resolution. Jenny Spencer and Clara Santucci. The county clerk is going to prepare that. We'll table that until a future meeting. Item I, cancel, well,
And Beth,
Beth is not here.
yes, she remembered about this other too.
Okay. She's making copies of the
Okay.
resolution.
Thank you.
I guess we can go ahead to, do we have the information on the Dodge County Health Department reappointment of members?
Yes. We got a letter from the Dodge County Health Department, the board, and they recommend that Lois Knight and Clinton Means be reappointed as members of the Dodge County Board of Health for 5 years, retroactive to November 30th, 2014, said term to expire November 30th, 2019.
I'll move that we appoint Mr. Means and Mr. Knight to the Dodge County Health Department Board.
I have a motion on the floor to reappoint Lois Knight and Clinton Means as members of the Dodge County Board of Health for a period of 5 years. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It asks for a second on here, so you made the motion.
All right.
I'll second.
Okay. I guess we probably should go ahead and re-vote.
Go ahead.
On a motion and a second, Lois Knight and Clinton Means will be reappointed as members of the Dodge County Board of Health for 5 years, retroactive to November 30th, 2014. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Here's the copies of the planning commission report if you care to read a copy.
Thank you.
I can just sign this and you can fill in the...
And I didn't remember along with the letter.
Okay. All right. There's the copy of the information for the first reading of the Planning Commission. Okay. We'll go on to cancellation of checks.
It's really just part of the regular bookkeeping. It's checks that have been out for a long time, they need canceled, so that we reissued. Gutman was one of the main ones, and then the bank cards, they got lost in the mail, no one knows where they're at, and they haven't come back through the banks.
Okay, so we're putting stop payments on these checks.
Not on those, because those, if they do come through, they know about them, but if they do go through, we have a monthly bill, so they can just credit it to us if they should happen to come through. And there's like 17 of them, and if we try to stop payment on all those, it would be difficult. This one was returned to us, so I know where that check is, the Buckeye Animal Clinic. They accidentally charged us twice for something. They returned a check, but it was too late to void. And then Jamie ran his reimbursement for her, and it was lost. So that's what these are. You just need to make a motion. The sheriff is requesting that you cancel these, and then if you decide to do that, you sign this, and I give it back to them, and they
Reissue.
yeah, the checks will be reissued and receive it back in, then reissue.
Okay. Everybody good with that? Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to be approved,
Cancel
cancel
it.
the checks or cancel, yeah.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Second.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. Purchase card coordinator.
United Bank Card wants 2 people on the account, and they said, in the other counties, they have 2. And for some reason, we only had 1, which is Ronnie right now. But they wanted someone on site, and they said it's usually the bookkeeper. So they asked for me to ask to
Okay.
do that. It's just when issues come up, I can talk to them instead of having to call Ronnie in and do it.
Okay. Do we have any discussion on that?
Are you willing to do that?
Yeah, but I'm always calling to it.
And I move that Beth be the second person.
Okay. We have a motion that Beth be named the second person on the purchase card, as the purchase card, second person listed under the purchase card coordinator. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Did you happen to remember what that employee review?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So are you wanting an executive session?
Yes, discussing an employee, so.
Okay. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
I'll move we go into executive session, and according to the clock, it's 11:09. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
That probably wouldn't go over very well. Okay. Do we have a motion? Do we have a motion to go back into regular session?
I'll make a motion to go back to regular session.
Thank you.
What time?
We have a motion at 11:18
11:18.
to go back into regular session. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. There is no action at this time on the employee review executive session item on the agenda. The last items are the floodplain reports and then the invoices, exonerations, probate orders, budget revisions, and payroll. I will read and I'm only going to read the number and the brief description. This is Garbage County floodplain permit applications approved between January 20th and January 29th. 14-252, Crim Gathering LLC, EQT to OX11 pipeline. Number 14-290, Crim Gathering LLC, Sherwood South pipeline. It is, it's in Southwest District. Grant, New Milton, and Southwest Districts. 14-299, Dominion LL Tonkin crossover project. And that It's in West Union District. (14-324) Antero Resources, Kevin Run Road, location is Central District. 15-335 Antero Resources, Valley Pipeline, entirely out of the floodplain, location Central District. 15-336 Antero Resources, County Road 26 culvert upgrades, entirely out of the floodplain, and that's in Central District. 15-337 Antero Resources, more offload to more tank pad, water line removal, and land reclamation, entirely out of the floodplain. It's in Grant and West Union districts. 15-338 Antero Resources, more TEE to D. Leatherman water line removal and land reclamation, entirely out of the floodplain, located in Grant District. And 15-339 Antero Resources, enter heirs to Clive water line removal and land reclamation, entirely out of floodplain, and that's in the New Milton District. Those were all approved during that period that I just announced. If anybody, I don't know, I think there were some extra ones if anybody needs copies. Now, at this point, all we've got are invoices, exonerations, probate orders, but are there any budget revisions? Okay, no budget revisions. So, if you want, wait a minute. Do we need to, this letter that you have given me supporting?
Yeah, you just need to sign it.
Okay, so with
I've already signed mine.
okay,
And
all right.
she has all the others from
So,
Trevor Fisher.
like I said, if you all want to stay and watch us sign bills, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, we're pretty well finished, I think. And I think we can be done, hopefully, by lunchtime.
I heard Ralph's line today.
Did you?
What?
Ralph's line lunch today.
Oh, is it for everybody?
Everybody.
Oh, cool.
I didn't.
Where is it that we're going?
Get you a Coke out of the machine or whatever. Snap cracker.
And that'll be $2.
We've already had to do that when you go into executive session, so you need to pay us $2 for that.
I'm not supposed to sign it. You are.
Could you unplug me, Ronnie? Could you unplug? Thank you. I don't think you want me to come up there. Might get me through it.
Right?
I mean, you can look out.
I don't want to.
If you want that, where you going? I've got it on. I just tried to call. I think it's like a Fairview. That's where I'll probably end up going. Yep.
Well, I need to get you first.
That was hard.
I was going to ask you to bail me out, but I can pay you that. You know what, when we come back, I got that wolf you want to Jack, I will see. I'll get Jack.
We gotta pay the state farm. What we gotta pay them for?
It's when they, we have to pay so much for each place, but anyway, actually, I missed it last time, but you gave us a second notice. For each location, at least they took the library off, they had the library on.
We're going up there. Do you want me to order for you?
Just give me a cup of coffee.